Hi, everyone. I'm here with Kathryn.
Hi,
My name's Renee, and I am a recovering perfectionist.
I'm Kathryn. I'm also a recovering perfectionist.
And we are so thankful you're here with us tonight. And we're really excited to tell you our stories and things that we've done to overcome our perfectionism, or I should say, still in the process of overcoming, right? And we're also going to share some techniques that we hope will help you. I think both of us are nervous. We continue to get nervous to do events like this, but what we realized is part of getting over our perfectionism is pushing ourselves so that we can help other people. So I actually wrote down and I took some notes because I didn't want to forget anything. And I wrote down the definition of perfectionism, and that is believing your self worth is based on your achievements and really the refusal to accept anything less than perfect. And I think so many times we think about if we can't do it perfectly or we don't know exactly how it's going to go, we're just not going to do it at all. Is that something that you have dealt with?
Yes.
I think we're both going to talk about that tonight. And I have a few questions that I wrote down for you. Just things to think about as we're talking. And I'd love if you share, at least let us know that you're out there and that if we can answer any questions as we go, we'd love that. But do you ever think about starting something and abandon the idea when it gets overwhelming? Where it sounds like a good idea, but you just get too nervous and you don't know how it's going to work out. So you're like, I didn't need it anyway. Maybe that is something that happens for you. Or do you ever try to make it look like you have everything together? And, you know, oh, I hope that you guys can see that we're live. We're live. um, or do you ever feel like you just need to look like you have it together because you don't want people to think about you, you know, like in a negative way, or you think they're thinking it's negative? Or do you ever try to hold yourself to such a high standard and you're constantly criticizing yourself so you can't find joy? Is that ever something that happens for you? Because those are the things that I know Kathryn and I dealt with. And so I'm definitely going to share my story. Hi, Tanya. I'm so glad that you're here with us. Um, I'm going to share my story. Kathryn and I are going to share some techniques. But first, I'm going to let Kathryn introduce herself and just tell you all about her and how just some things she's done to overcome her perfectionism.
So I'm working on it right now because this is something I am not comfortable doing, and I am stepping out of my comfort zone and not going to worry about being imperfect. So I do have notes because I don't want to miss anything. But yes, I'm Kathryn. I am 37 years old, and I'm married to my husband, Drew, and have two kids, Anna, 7, and Andrew, 5. And I think you had asked for me to share an activity I love doing imperfectly.
Yes. Yes.
And the first thing that came to mind was cooking. I love cooking, and I love cooking without recipes or measuring because it's just my way of kind of being free and putting stuff together. And of course, I love health, so I get to just play around with all the foods, and they end up showing up on a plate very imperfect, but healthy for my family. So I love that. Do you want me to go ahead and kind of share my story?
Please share your story and just some things that you've overcome overcome imperfectionism that might be able to help everyone that's watching.
And again, I'm going to read so I don't miss anything. I'm a work in progress. So basically, ever since I was a little girl, I remember struggling with perfectionism, feeling a need to perform, feeling like my self-worth was, wrapped up in how I performed and being successful. I've always liked wanting to please everyone and being liked by everyone, and didn't realize, I think until recently as we started talking through this, how that can make you sometimes feel unworthy just trying to please everyone and be perfect. It's been so freeing to just know that I don't have to be, and not to compare myself to anyone else. So I feel like I said, I've kind of was striving for perfection for a really long time, which held me back from a lot, getting out of my comfort zone and accomplishing some great things. So I think the big turning point for me, those of you that know me know I lost my sister in December. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. It was very unexpected. She was my person that just put me up on this pedestal and thought that I could, to her, I was perfection. And I just didn't realize what a disservice that I did her and maybe other people that, saw me as this perfect person that had it all together, but really inside, I had my struggles too. So part of me sharing is that, I might be able to reach people that maybe have known me since middle school, high school, like, oh, she's got it all together. Nobody does. And anyone that, it says that they do is probably struggling the most. So I'm just trying really hard to get out of my comfort zone, and, find my way to carry on her legacy and impact the world in just a big way. So
awesome. I love this girl, and we've been through a lot together. And I think that, when life happens, you start realizing what you deem to be important really isn't. And all people really want is to like connect and to know that you relate to them. We all have our positives and our things that are our challenges. And I think that what we've learned together is just working through some of them. I know for me, I'm so thankful to have grown up in a really wonderful, loving family, but I have a sister with mental illness. And I think that when you grow up in an environment where there's some challenges, it leads you to say, I'm okay. I'm really good. I'm good. You don't want to be a burden. You don't want to complain. You just want to like figure it out. And year after year of doing that, you stop actually like sharing your feelings because it's expected. You expect yourself to just be good, to be perfect, and it's unrealistic. And the thing is, what Kathryn said, no one else is expecting that of us. So I now have, I'm married to my husband, Zach, for 18 years, and I have two beautiful children, Carter and Courtney. Carter's 12, Courtney's 14, and Carter 12 and 14. And I think that it's so important that I've really realized as I've raised my kids to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to share what we're feeling, because you have to talk through things. We are always talking through, like as business owners, we're all nervous out in the world doing what we do, putting ourselves out there, making ourselves vulnerable. But the thing is, when we really share our feelings, people can relate to us. And so I just have learned, it was really about when I was 35. I'm 42 now, but at 35, I read a book called The Gifts of Imperfection by Renee, and I realized that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not look like you think you should, or not to achieve a goal that you think you should, or to not say yes to everything like you think you should, because what I think I should is my own benchmark. No one else is expecting that of me, and I'm just unhappy because I'm constantly living for everyone else. And so I just learned to like take care of myself so I can take care of others, and just get a little stronger and have more boundaries. And that has been the greatest gift of my life. It's still something I'm working on, but I'm so much better than I used to be because of it. And now, like the ripple effect, like our team and our clients and our families benefit from us being stronger and being able to help them. So that's kind of my story. We do want to share a few techniques to help you guys overcome your perfectionism. So even if you end up watching this later, we had a few technical difficulties, which as a recovering perfectionist kind of is funny, kind of perfect actually. But I'm going to share the first one. I felt this is really helpful. Just being, and I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it as a technique now. Learn to be vulnerable. Learn to share how you feel, and learn to have boundaries. Learn to say, I'd love to, but I can't. Or thanks for thinking of me, but next time. Don't say yes to things that don't serve you, because you have to serve yourself before you can serve other people. That is so important, because the good news is when you say yes to things you want to say yes to, you're excited about it. But when you say yes to too many things and you're jack of all trades, you feel like master of none and you're letting yourself down and actually everybody around you. So be more vulnerable and setting boundaries. That would be the first technique. Kathryn, will you share the second one?
I will. And actually, it kind of starts with you because something that Renee really taught me. And when I was nervous, to do this tonight, I just kept reminding myself, like, it's not about me. It's about serving other people. And so as nervous as I am right now, what if I reach one or two people that this may make a difference for? And just thinking about it like that helps me a lot. And just trying to do the next right thing one day at a time. Don't get overwhelmed by I would call her and, what about this? Just, she was just say, just do the right thing right now and then do the next right thing. And then that helped me a lot. So.
And I think, what you realize is the compounding effect of doing the right thing and pacing ourselves. I think perfectionists tend to overdo it. I know me, I would like pull all-nighters in college, and then I would literally almost sleep through my final because I would, overdo it, and then crash. We crash and burn. And you gotta like play at a pace that you can maintain. And whatever your priorities are as a daughter, as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, as a business owner, you have to prioritize all the things and balance them. So that is so important. And I know it's something we're still working on, but really the compounding effect of doing the next right thing in all the areas leads to a happier, more balanced life. Like balanced isn't a goal. I actually don't go for balance, but you can feel balance, so I think that is really helpful. The third technique, and this is something that happened. So our team, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Sorry. Our team is going for a big goal. We're still in the process of it. And I have to be honest with you guys. I've been so afraid to go for it if I didn't know how it was going to happen that I would just tell myself a story that didn't serve me. We're good. We have a great business. We have done so well. We've helped so many people. And I told myself that story for many, many years. And just this past year, we decided to start chipping away at it. And even though we haven't yet reached it, just the process of going for it has had great things happen. And we came up with the mantra, only good things, and really focusing on progress over perfectionism, progress over hitting the goal. We're going to hit that goal, but now we focus on the progress every single day and like doing these kinds of things that we know make more of a difference than anything. So it's just, I feel such joy to be freed of that all or nothing mentality that it really you feel like a captive to it. And it's just really freeing to just live your best life and be your best self and be with people who want to do it with you. And so those are just some of the techniques that have helped us. We'd love to hear your stories. I mean, is there anything else that I've missed that you kind of want to
No, that was really good. I was trying to see if there was anything that I missed, but I was telling her this morning at my Bible study, we had talked about, which I thought this was interesting, that I would rather fail going for it than to succeed doing all the wrong things. And I just thought that was, sometimes we stay in our comfort zone. We can all be good at things, but we all have one thing we're called to do, and it can be scary, and it's usually out of your comfort zone, but just pushing yourself to be vulnerable and be okay if you fail along the way or make mistakes along the way. And it is very, very free.
So. Well, I'm so proud of Kathryn. She's let me, work with her on this. We work on it together, but I love to live outside of my comfort zone and constantly think about if I'm nervous, that means good things are happening. And one of my mentors says, when nothing's happening, everything is happening. And so if you just kind of keep challenging yourself a little bit, one day you're going to find yourself doing things you never imagined. And just the joy of doing it is the payoff, not the end goal. So thanks for being with us tonight. Thank you for doing this with me. And again, we're here to help. So please reach out to us if there's anything you can think of and if we can help in any way. So we want our hindsight to be your foresight and help you overcome your perfectionism. Have a great night, everybody. Love you.